Hello everybody, 4-Star here, and we are back with another episode of Madden 2001 franchise here with the Washington Redskins here. And for week 11, we have a bye week, so I feel like this is the perfect time to show you guys my sliders and to see some stats here for the middle of the season, see who's on top, see who's not doing too hot so far. And yeah, and then we're just going to get right into it. We have the Rams, the greatest show on turf, and I believe they only have one loss this season, and then we take on the Eagles again. So we're going to be looking at the Rams roster before going into that one. So far in the NFC, we are looking good. We are in first place here in the conference at 9-1. I don't believe we have the Packers this season, but they are 8-1 so far. The Rams 7-2. The Eagles fighting basically to be in that top 4 seeding. I know that it might be just the 3 division winners with 3 wild cards. I believe that's how they did it back in the day. But the Eagles so far, they are leading the division. They're 6-4. Falcons 6-4. Bears 5-4, just barely in. The Cardinals 5-4. The Buccaneers 4-5, probably the first one's out. Cowboys 4-5. Giants 4-5. Lions 4-5, and the Vikings are all 4-5. All of these guys still have a shot at the playoffs. And then you have the Panthers and Saints at 2-7, and the lowly 49ers at 1-9. They're looking like they're going to be getting that Michael Vick pick coming into the draft. And then going into the AFC here, on top of the standings here are the New York Jets, Curtis Martin and Vinny Testaverde really slinging it out there. We got the Raiders at 7-2 with Tim Brown and Rich Gannon. The Ravens at 7-3. The Titans at 6-3. Browns 6-4. The first ones getting in are the Chargers and the Patriots at 5-4. The Broncos 4-5. Bengals 4-5. Colts 4-5. Seahawks 4-6. Bills 3-6. Chiefs and Dolphins and Jaguars all 3-6. And then the Steelers at a lowly 1-8, trying to compete for that number 1 draft pick. So looking at the general stats here, Brad Johnson is just absolutely killing it right here. He is the front runner for MVP, and you can see why. 2,506 yards, 31 touchdowns, only 7 picks so far, 63% completion percentage. Right behind him is Brett Favre with 100 rating here, 18 touchdowns, 5 picks with 2,100 yards so far. I believe our passing yards leader is Drew Bledsoe. So let's see, and he is 25-19 so far. We're just literally about 13 yards right behind him, so we're not too far behind on that. So we're looking good so far. Rushing, Curtis Martin about to approach 1,000 yards. Marshall Faulk with 10 touchdowns. He is leading in touchdowns so far. Just looking on the outside here, and then it's like a cloud of dust after Tyrone Wheatley. 733 yards. Fred Taylor 681 yards, but he is out for the season. Oh man, and if you know Fred Taylor's career, he's always been dealing with injuries, and I believe in this game it is no different. Out for the season, but he did have a respectable 681. Ricky Williams 665, and then we have here with Steven Davis right below Terrell Davis, 1 yard more, 663 with 5 touchdowns. On the receiving end, it looks like Drew Bledsoe's number 1 target, Terry Glenn, the first guy to go over 1,000 yards. Let's see who else is 1,000 yards. Nobody else. Antonio Freeman right there at the edge there at 978. Charles Johnson 871. Michael Westbrook, good to see him up there at 786. Curtis Conway from our Jets series before he even made it to the Jets, he's at 784 with the Chargers. Kevin Johnson 783. Robinson 757. Marvin Harrison looking good, 755. Isaac Bruce, Frank Sanders, Rocket Ishmael, Torrance Small. And then we got Albert Cano here right under Ed McCaffrey, who's having a great season, 692 with 4 touchdowns. But Albert Cano, look at him, Al Cano, 8 touchdowns on him this season. He's looking good. Of course, we got some dogs on defense. The most tackles here is Takeo Spikes, tackles for loss. Russell with the 12 sacks as well, leading the league on that. Interceptions is Antoine Edwards here, and it looks like nobody's really even close here. He's looking at basically DB of the year. Leading deflections is Springs. Forced fumbles is Jones. Fumble recovery is Julian Peterson, Derek Reese, and Troy Aikman. I believe he's just recovering his own fumbles at this point. And then defensive touchdowns, Derek Brooks with already 2 and Marcus Coleman with 2. Man, nasty work here from the top teams in the league. So the players of the week for the last 3 weeks here as we simmed week 11. Frank Sanders, 3 touchdowns on the day. And then Bennett with an interception return for a touchdown as well as a sack. Week 10, Eddie George, man, making himself known. 3 total touchdowns here today, 184 total yards, 33 yards on the through the air, and then 151 on the ground for a phenomenal week 10 for him. And then you have Mentor here with a fumble recovery with 2 sacks. And then week 11, of course, is got to be Marshall Faulk, right? The guy that we're about to play next. 200 yards, 2 touchdowns on 28 carries. But then you add on an extra 38 yards from the receiving end and a touchdown from one of the greatest receiving running backs of all time. This is what you're going to get. A great week 11 from him. And then you got Williams from Kansas City, a sack and a fumble recovery that he took all the way back for a touchdown. All right, so these are the sliders that I've been using so far in the All-Pro. And I've tried all Madden. I'm just not good at the game. I ain't even gonna lie to you guys like that. So I think I'm gonna bring wide receiver catching down a little bit, and that's for me. And then defense, I think defense is fine so far. I think we could bring back up knockdowns. I don't want to. I already increased the awareness, and I like it where it's at right now. And I've increased the awareness at least for this game because the CBs are terrible. But I did increase the running back ability for the CPU because I feel like our defense is just a little bit too good on the run. And I brought down pass blocking a lot because I feel like we are above and beyond the worst team in the league. Looking at the stats of all the other teams, we are way behind, and we have too much good talent for that. So I think I'm going with these sliders here for this next incoming game going up against the Rams. So here we are in the Edward Jones Dome, or as they like to call it, the Trans World Dome, before Edward Jones even came to the stadium here in St. Louis. So that's how old this game is. But we have another tough matchup, this time against the greatest show on turf in its prime. They just won the Super Bowl last season, and they're here with their spiffy new uniforms. As for last season, they only went with their old yellow and blue combination. So this will be the first year in this team's existence wearing the gold and blue. But we got a tough one ahead of us here. The greatest show on turf, and they get the ball here in this first half here. And Marshall Faulk gets absolutely nothing on that play here. So it's going to be 2nd down and 8 here. Hodgins going to get more yards than Marshall Faulk, and Stubblefield's there for the tackle. But he gets the big first down. Fresh out of downs here for Kurt Warner here as he gives this one to Williams, and then he takes off, breaking the tackle. The defender's down, takes it to about the 30-yard line, inside the 30, takes it to about, I believe, the 27-yard line. What a big first down there. And as you can see, the greatest show on turf not even needing its primary weapons to be effective against us. But speaking of primary weapons, you got Isaac Bruce, and then you get an easy score. Just absolutely devastating for us, and they start off with a quick 7-0 lead here in the first quarter. Nasty work here, waiting for Isaac Bruce to really just have a window there. Now we trail by 7, so we're gonna start off here with Steven Davis. He gets about a moderate, about 7-yard gain on that play, bringing us into a 2nd down and 3 here. Johnson dropping back, throws this one right to Westbrook, but there's a penalty, roughing the passer, add on 15 more yards and putting us into enemy territory. Here we go, 1st and 10 here. Johnson under pressure, and he throws this one right to McLean, and he will take this one out of our hands, and we will be down 7-0 with the greatest show on turf with the ball. But Marshall Faulk surprisingly can't get nothing against us here. Champ Bailey with the tackle for loss. Amazing job there. Now it's 2nd down and 12 for Kurt Warner. Throws it off his back foot there, and oh my goodness, was Darrell Green ready to get that pick there. 3rd down and 12 here for Kurt Warner. Having all day in the pocket, Sam Shea tries to cover Marshall Faulk, but then he takes it and runs all the way into the end zone. But Darrell Green's right behind him. He can't get him. He'll score an 85-yard touchdown there from Kurt Warner to one of the greatest Swiss Army knives in NFL history, Marshall Faulk. So now we're down 14-0 here. And will this be our 2nd loss of the season? It seems likely here as Brad Johnson tries to force this one into coverage there, as Westbrook, he was seemingly not open on that play. 3rd down and 9. Johnson looking, throws this one high to Andre Reed, and he can't get his hand on it. So we're going to have to punt this one away. The guy that was defending him was a young Dre Bly, who was a pretty formidable corner back in his day. And then Azahir Hakeem getting a nice return. He's going to take this one inside the 40, putting it in enemy territory already. And you talk about a dynamic guy. Azahir Hakeem was one of them, and a deadly punt returner and kick returner for the greatest show on turf as well. Added some extra pizzazz onto that offense. He was coming onto the field here. And look at Isaac Bruce, man, chopping us up there. And we haven't even seen Torrey Holt yet. So here comes Kurt Warner again, trying to give it to his tight end there. But we finally get involved there and break that one up. So now 2nd down and 10 here. Warner looking under pressure here. Tries to throw it to Bruce again. But just off balance throw there for Kurt Warner. Now 3rd down and 10 here. Warner, good pocket there. Tries to give it to Marshall Falk. But Mark Carrier is there for the tip away. And they would have to go. And they will have to settle for 3 here. Jeff Wilkins knocking this one through. And now it is 17-0. So we are really down here against one of the greatest teams to ever set foot on the turf. As we give it to Stephen Davis there for about a moderate 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7 here. Still in the first quarter, down 17 here. Let's see if Johnson can do something for us. But he gives it to Al Connell on a nice little sharp route. And he will take this one all the way. McLean is going to be left in the dust. And we score here before the end of the first quarter, which is a very, very good sign for us, as we're going to try to stop one of the greatest receiving cores of all time. And Marshall Falk once again grabs the ball and runs it all the way into the end zone. And he has 2 receiving touchdowns and over 125 receiving yards in this first quarter. We're just starting out the second quarter here, and we're down again by 17. Gives it to Michael Westbrook on the throw there from Brad Johnson and gets about 6 yards. 2nd down and 5 here for us. We give it to Stephen Davis, and he has nothing but green in front of him. Breaks a tackle on the way to the helmet logo, and he gets his first big break of the day. So now it is 1st and 10 here for Johnson. Under immense pressure, but finds Westbrook anyway. What a great throw there. Under pressure by Brad Johnson, one of the MVP candidates of the season. Johnson once again looking around, throws this one, this time to Westbrook again, and this time he gets another grab for a 1st down, putting him in the red zone. We're trying to respond back from that touchdown from Marshall Falk. Here comes Johnson, and we find Westbrook for a 3rd straight time here, and he gets into the end zone to cut back the lead down to 10 points. Great job there by one of the most dynamic receivers in the league, and that has to be at least his 12th or 13th touchdown of the season here from Michael Westbrook. But Isaac Bruce not to be shied away either here. He is taking on Deion Sanders here. He's handling him as Williams gets a nice grab there for a good 4 or 5 yard gain there. 2nd down and 4. Warner just going to take it and run there. I believe that was 3rd down, and Warner just runs and gets the 1st down. Kurt Warner's still pretty young in this simulation here. So here comes Kurt Warner again. Pump fakes, throws a dot right to Isaac Bruce, but good job, 95. He was there to make the tackle and break that one up, as Isaac Bruce now is injured, but they still have Torrey Holt, so we still got to be wary of that. And then they got these tight ends. Williams again, another nice throw down the middle there from Kurt Warner to get a 7-yard gain. 3rd down and 3 here from Marshall Falk, and he can't get anything on the run game today. Stubblefield makes the tackle, and Jeff Wilkins is back out there for another field goal attempt. This time he misses it just slightly to the right. So now we have a chance here at the end of this first half to try to make a score here and make it under 10 points. For the first time since the game started here, Irvin Fryer getting a little bit involved in this one. We go with the no huddle here. 2nd down and inches. I believe we get it offside, but it doesn't matter to Andre Reed as he becomes Mr. Clutch once again. Another big grab for a 1st down. We decline that penalty, and on we go with the drive, but we do get a free timeout because of the penalty here. Johnson pump fakes. He has all day looking around there, just throws it deep. Not a good throw at all, and McLean gets his 2nd INT of the half. So a missed opportunity there from the Redskins, and now Warner gets to have this one at the 20-yard line, gives it immediately to Torrey Holt, and he gets a big 1st down. They call their first timeout. Coach Turner just can't believe what's going on right now. First and 10, 40 seconds left. Azahir Hakeem gets the ball, and that screen does not work at all, so they waste a timeout on that one. Now second down and 13 here. Once again, gotta watch out for Torrey Holt here. He's taking Isaac Bruce's spot, but what an interception there by Darrell Green, putting us right back into the game here. A 10-point affair, if you forgot. But now here comes Johnson. Will he make the same mistake again? Throws it and almost gets picked off there. Nearly getting sacked and nearly getting picked. That would have definitely killed our momentum going into the second half. Johnson throws a dart again. Tries to get Al Connell. Can't find him. So now here's 3rd and 10. Man in motion here. I believe that was Westbrook. Looking again. Back foot throw. And he finds Andre Reed. Mr. Clutch himself to get the grab and a big first down from him. We call a timeout, and we're at least trying to find 3 on this drive. Here comes Johnson, under pressure again, finds Larry Centers. I love me some Larry Centers when he can grab the ball. He is so reliable. We call a timeout. We got one more remaining. Jeez, one more remaining. So we try to throw it deep in. We throw the double coverage to, I believe that was James Thrash. Always trying to give James Thrash an opportunity. 8 seconds left here for Johnson. Johnson under pressure a little bit, throws it to Andre Reed, and we call a timeout. Another clutch grab from him, and it will give us just enough for this easy field goal from Conway, and we'll get out of here with just a 7-point affair after being down 17-0 here at the start of the, well, basically at the end of the first quarter. We were looking absolutely disgusting, but these are 2 of the best teams in the league here, so we got to get ready. We got to get prepared because this might be an NFC Championship matchup here. As we get the ball here in this second half, a 3rd down and 2 situation here for Davis, trying to get to that line, but oh my goodness, number 54, Collins, was right there for the clutch stop. We go for it here on 4th and 1 in our own territory, but we find Westbrook, gets the first down there. I believe this was a very, very lengthy drive here. Probably one of the longest drives I've ever had in Madden history. But as you can see here, we're just trying to keep it pushing here, yard after yard. Each yard is precious here, especially when we're taking on the greatest show on turf. Al Connell getting a grab there, but it's 3rd down and short once again. 3rd down and 4 here for Johnson. Looking. Tries to find Alexander. He does, but I believe he's just short of the first down marker. So it is 4th down. We will have to punt it, but we're going to go with a fake. I go with an audible here. We still have Sellers here. Sellers, I believe, is a fullback. He's our backup fullback, and he gets the first down with ease. So 2 4th down conversions here in this drive, and we're not even past midfield, guys. Once again, we are not even past midfield, and we got 2 4th down conversions. Al Connell drops that one. Tough look here today for us. We're looking desperate. We're looking like a team that we haven't looked like since what, the Philadelphia Eagles game. We get an offensive pass interference on this drive, and now Westbrook has sent us back 10 yards. Remember, guys, I will say it for the 3rd time. We are not even past the 50-yard line. 2 4th down conversions, and now we're facing a 2nd down and 20. Johnson finds Al Connell down the middle, so he cuts it in half. Now 3rd down and 10. Well, 3rd down and 13. Close enough, right? Here comes Johnson, looking, throws it, a floater in the air, and Al Connell makes the grab somehow over 3 defenders. What a play there, and keeps us alive. 1st and 15 after a false start penalty. Here comes Johnson. Throws it right to Larry Centers, but he drops it. Oh my goodness, and that's not even the worst part. Brad Johnson hurt his chest, so we're gonna go with Pete Gonzalez. Remember, we traded Jeff George basically at the beginning of the season here because we felt like we didn't need him. And now we got Pete Gonzalez. He's a 65 overall. And now all of a sudden he's shoved into a 3rd down situation against one of the greatest teams of all time. Here he comes. 3rd down for Gonzalez. Throws it down the middle, and Larry Centers sells this absolutely disgusting drive. So we would have to punt the ball away. Brad Johnson's out for basically the entire game, and I don't know what we have to do here to try to make this one even competitive on our end. Torrey Holt with a big first down, putting them out of the shadow of their own goal post here. So now they have time. They have time to try to play with here. Throws it right to Isaac Bruce, who came back from injury, and now he gets the first down. And now they're going to go into the fourth quarter here, basically with the 7-point lead and with the control of the ball against probably one of the stingiest defenses that are in the league right now. So here comes, and nice job by Sanders there, but here comes Warner, incomplete, third down here. Crucial third down here, but Marshall Faulk gets enough for the first there with a nice 3-yard gain. 1st and 10 here for Warner. Under pressure, throws it right to Isaac Bruce again, another first down for Isaac Bruce. He is absolutely killing us today. He's killing prime time right now. And now here comes Torrey Holt with a first down. Great job there. This greatest show on turf team, man. They're good in any of these Maddens all the way up to 04. Hell, you can even say 05 when it wasn't even the greatest show on turf anymore. This was just a massively great team here. And maybe something might be coming up in the future. Maybe a future franchise with an 05 team who had Falk and Steven Jackson. But a nice tackle for loss there. Great job there by Barber. And now coming up a crucial 3rd down and 7 here. If they get to the goal line, they would get the first, but they have the backup running back in. He doesn't get anything there, and they will have to settle for another 3 as it will make it back to a 10-point game. So now it is 27-17. We have all 3 of our timeouts, but we got to make a quick touchdown here with Pete Gonzalez of all people. So here comes Pete Gonzalez, gets the grab there. Andre Reed from the throw from Pete. And now we're just trying to move down the field. Clock is ticking, but we really can't risk taking all these timeouts here. We find Westbrook again, another big first down. Mike Martz is a little bit upset. We go with the no huddle. Gonzalez, clean pocket, throws it right down the middle to Alexander, but it gets tipped away there by number 23. Great job there by the corners. By the safety there. Gonzalez, pump fakes. Looking down the middle for Andre Reed. He hasn't failed us yet, and he won't fail us this time. Another big grab and a first down, and we have a lot of time here, especially to try to come back with all 3 timeouts. Here comes Gonzalez. Throws a floater to Irving Fryer of all people, and he gets a touchdown. And now all of a sudden, it is a 3-point game here in the waning seconds of this game. But can we pull it off? We got to get the onside kick, though. Here comes Barnhart. Nice bounce up in the air. McCullum grabs it, but he doesn't dive. He tries to run into the end zone. Fumble on the play, and Dion is there to cover that ball up. Somehow, someway, we got 3 timeouts. Gonna feel like 10 timeouts, and we got 45 seconds to get down the field with our 2nd-string quarterback, Pete Gonzalez. What do you got for us, buddy? This is your time. Rolling off to the right here, trying to find anybody, but he almost throws a game-sealing pick there from number 52. 3rd down and 10 here. 34 seconds on the clock. Gonzalez throws it down the middle and finds Westbrook. Westbrook down the middle of the field, and we get a grab and a nice first down there, and we call a timeout. We got 1 left here. So we got 26 seconds in a dream. Here comes Gonzalez looking, throws it to Irvin Fryer. I don't know why. Did anybody have Pete Gonzalez to Irvin Fryer connection in this series? Let me know so I can give you $1,000 right now, because this is absolutely insane. Gonzalez looking, trying to find Westbrook, almost throws it to McLean, who almost got his 3rd pick today. 16 seconds left. 2nd down and 10. Gonzalez, clean pocket, throws it right to Andre Reed, and he scores a touchdown, and all of a sudden, we're up by 3. Oh my goodness, what a score. And we have taken the lead for the first time this game. And with only 6 seconds left, Kurt Warner can only ask for a prayer. Throws it right to Isaac Bruce, but he will get covered up by Primetime, and that would be the game. We would escape with a 31-27 victory, winning this one by 4 to keep our winning streak going and to go 10-1, taking out one of the best teams that we've ever even faced here in this series. Kurt Warner had an amazing day today, but Pete Gonzalez, the hero of the day, 2 touchdowns with Brad Johnson being out. What a game from him. Nothing really going with the run game there, but Michael Westbrook, 131 and a touchdown. Andre Reed, 125 and a touchdown. Irvin Fryer with a touchdown from Pete Gonzalez. Those connections were insane. What a day from our boys here. Darrell Green getting that nice clutch interception to keep us in the game. Oh my goodness, what a game that was. But we are still not done yet. We still got a meeting with the Eagles. Last time they pushed us to the brink, but can we stop them this time from even going into OT? Let's find out in this next game against the Eagles at home. Back at home again at the nation's capital to take on the Eagles. And as you know, last time, I believe it was the episode before, they took us to the brink, man. Donovan McNabb was just absolutely killing us here. As you can see, they got Autry as their starting running back here. I believe we did say that their running backs were kind of injured here. But whatever the case is, I don't believe the running game is going to be a problem, especially with our unit here. It's just those darn sacks that we can't get. But we start off with the ball here in the first half, as Johnson will try to find Westbrook here on that right hash, but Taylor almost getting that big pick there, putting us on the third down situation. And here on third down, we're asking Brad Johnson to make a play here. Finds Davis, but he can't hold on to it. So we're going to have to punt this ball away on a 3-and-out. So here comes Donovan McNabb. We know how lethal he is. Throws this one high, but Mark Smith leaps up for the INT on the very first play from defense. Nice job there, Mark Smith. And my user skill is getting a little bit better here, trying to really predict where that ball is floating. It feels just very different, especially with these rigid animations that they give you. It's not a lot of animations, as not even 02 and even 03. So we're going to have to work with what we got here, and we're doing it splendidly here as Davis gets the first down here. Johnson under pressure finds Westbrook and gets the first down on that play. Great job there by Johnson. First down and goal-to-goal situation here for the Redskins. Looking, having a clean pocket here. Had Alexander open, but he just held on to the ball way too long. And Corey Simon will get his first sack of the day. Hopefully his last sack of the day. Second down and goal here, nearly at the 30-yard line here. As you can see, my emulator is struggling, but it won't stop Westbrook from getting that catch and a touchdown. Great job there from Westbrook. Vincent was on him, but it did not matter. And Westbrook, once again, touchdown machine this season here, as we are pushing for that also elusive 1 seed here, especially with the Packers. And Torrance Small, once again, just cutting this up here, breaking Darrell Green's tackle, finally getting put down there. As you can see, Norv Turner just not happy with that one. Now in enemy territory, McNabb throws another quick strike to Small here, but Darrell Green just put enough to break that one up. Second down and 10 here for McNabb. Dropping back, a very clean pocket, not having any trouble. Stubblefield would try to interfere, but Lewis was wide open for the catch there, getting that ball right under Sam Shade. And it's another first down. Move the chains here. Under 2 minutes left here. They give it to Martin. He's only going to get a couple. Second down and 7 here. Now Autry's going to get the ball. Autry's down the field, and he can only get, I don't even believe he got a yard on that play. So third down and 7 here. McNabb going to have to throw the rock. Gives it to Martin again. But Martin can't get the first down on that play. They will have to settle for 3. David Akers up and good, and now it's a 4-point game. We are feeling extremely comfortable right now. Our defense is rolling. Johnson having a clean pocket. Pump fakes, throws it to Andre Reed. But apparently Andre Reed doesn't like how the ball spins with old Brad, because he was catching those balls from Pete extremely well last week. Third down and 8 here for Johnson. Feeling a little bit of pressure. Throws it to Westbrook, and Westbrook is off to the races. Almost getting his second touchdown today, but he meets up with Brian Dawkins, and he will get a big first down to put us inside the red zone. So now it is first down and 10 here. We give it to Adrian Merle, and he finds a hole, but he gets popped really hardly. Oh my goodness, that's not even a word. And Trey Johnson tried to pick up the ball. He got hurt on the play, but it goes to the Eagles after 2 forced fumbles on 1 play here. McNabb throwing a strike here, and oh my goodness, you got to catch that, Johnson. Man, that was an easy one. McNabb throwing it where only you can get it here. He would get a second chance, and he wouldn't mess this one up. Johnson with a big grab and taking it down midfield. A tough one here for us, especially when we thought we had another touchdown in hand here. And Adrian Merle just going to fumble that one away. Autry not getting anything on that first down. Gives it to Martin this time, and he gets about 8 yards on that play. So now it's going to be a 3rd and manageable here for Donovan McNabb. McNabb going to give it to Autry here, but he runs into Stubblefield. And Stubblefield being a big disruptor here in these last couple games. So here comes Davis. Davis only getting a couple yards on that play. I believe that was Douglas there with the tackle. And here comes Davis here and Brian Dawkins, man. Oh my God, I know you're Weapon X, but please don't hurt my boys before we go to the playoffs. Here comes Johnson rolling off to the right, finds Al Connell double covered, but still getting open for the big grab and a first down. So once again, it's still 7-3 here. And we're just trying to get down the field here, and with Stephen Davis, he makes it look easy. Great job there from Stephen Davis. We're going to award him with another one, and he barely gets tackled on that play after absolutely trucking a guy who was in front of him at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 7 here. Merle down the field, finding his lane and getting that nice first down, one of his longest runs of the season. Johnson dropping back, a little bit of pressure, throws it to Larry Centers, and he is off to the races after the catch. A big touchdown. And now it is 14-3. Big plays for us. We're up and we're feeling good. But here comes McNabb. Dropping back. Looking. Off to the right. Throws it across his body in primetime, almost getting a big INT there. He has been absolutely a demon ever since the overtime INT touchdown that he got a few weeks ago. And now we get a sack. Dana Stubblefield, after all his efforts these past couple weeks, he finally gets a sack, and a hard-earned one here as we go into halftime with an 11-point lead. But with McNabb having the ball, you never know what's going to happen. Quick strike here, and Deion Sanders, a big pick and another pick six. He's picked sixth of Donovan McNabb twice now. Great job from prime time. Trying to earn that, not that playoff spot. He's already pretty much earning it there. Great job there by Darrell Green. But he's trying to earn that Pro Bowl spot. And yes, LeVar Arrington did get injured. He's out for 2 quarters, and a great one-handed, left-handed catch there from Lewis, the tight end. And Autry's going to clean up here with a nice little 3-yard gain there. Bruce Smith with the tackle. Only 19 rushing yards for these guys today. Here comes McNabb, this time to Martin again. Martin only getting a couple yards here, so our defense is really stopping those short plays from getting any better. But Lewis almost getting the grab and a first down near a crucial 2nd down play, but now 3rd down and 6 here for McNabb. Looking, throws it to Brown, and he gets a grab for a first down. So great job there. Now it's going to be 1st down and 10. McNabb having an extremely clean pocket, but the stick skills are there, and Mark Carey is there for the tip away. 2nd down and 10. Quick throw here to Lewis, and Lewis is now down the field. And he only gets picked up by Mark Smith. And Lewis being the guy who's really moving the chains here for this offense. McNabb, another quick throw. This time to Brown again. He gets a first down, and now they're looking at 6 here. The Eagles, even though they haven't been the best team all season, they're definitely a team to mess with, especially with the offense here as Brown drops the ball there. Great job and a great breakup there by the corner. Here comes Hammer now. I believe this is like their 4th string running back here, and he will get a couple yards, making it a 3rd and manageable. Now 3rd and 5 here for McNabb. Looking for Lewis again, and this time he gets into the end zone. They say he crossed the plane, grabs it, passes the line, and that's a touchdown for the Eagles. So now It's an 11-point game, so we still have a comfortable lead in front of us here. 2nd down and 7 here. Davis just finding the right hole, breaking through tackles as well, and getting big first downs. And this is why a guy like him should be getting over 1,000 yards every season. And that's exactly what the goal should be with him. Jeremiah Trotter makes the tackle there on that 2nd down, but he actually hurts his hand there, so he'll be out for a couple plays. 3rd down and 3 here for Johnson. Looking here, throws it into the back of the defender. I believe that was Gardner. Yes, it was. And it gets tipped away. We will have to give the ball back to McNabb and the company. And now they're trying to work this 11-point game into at least a 3-point game, as if they get a 2-point conversion here with a touchdown, they could be within 3. So here comes McNabb, dropping back, having pressure, but finds Lewis again, and he's just short of that 1st down line. Now 3rd down and 2. McNabb with the quick snap, looking right-hand side, and he finds a wide open Johnson. Carrier can't make the tackle, but Dion finally catches up, and now they're in the red zone trying to minimize this big lead that we have, or at least a pretty standard lead here with 11 points. Martin, absolutely nothing. Great job there by 54, getting the tackle. 2nd down and 11 here. McNabb floats it here, but Green is right there for the stop. Darrell Green, 40 years old, still can keep up with the best of them. Coach is loving it so far. 3rd down 11. McNabb throws this one to Torrance Small, and he catches it. I believe Shea did get a fingertip, but it wasn't enough to change the correction of the ball. Small getting a big touchdown. Now they're going to have to go for 2. McNabb swings this one to Pritchett, but he gets stopped by Mark Carrier right at the line of scrimmage. So now instead of a 3-point game, it is a 5-point game for us. And now all we have to do is try to run this clock down with Stephen Davis, giving him some much needed yardage for that 1,000-yard season that we want him to have. Takes a big clothesline. As you can see, we're 3/4 of the way there, 762 yards this season with Davis here, as he gets another great run near Corey Simon with the stop here. Now getting into the almost getting into the 2-minute warning here. Larry Center is going to get a nice little run inside the A gap and gets the 1st down there. We go with a little passing here. Try to be a little pass heavy. Tries to find Westbrook, but is way too low. 2nd down and 10 here, so we're going to go right back on the run. And Adrian Merle makes up for that incompletion with a great run down the middle and redeeming himself earlier for that fumble as well. So here we go, 1st down and 10 here. Johnson, we're going to try to pass the ball here again. It gets tipped by one defender, but it gets right past him. Westbrook gets the grab and then tack on 5 more for the first down in the face mask. Merle now getting some reps here. As you can tell, he can smell the end zone, so we're going to keep giving it to him. Merle again trying to get that run down the middle. Incomplete, well, not incomplete, but just short of the 1st down line. But Stephen Davis will take up here, and he'll get his cheap little touchdown as he gets his 28th of his career. So we're going to try to get him to 30 here by the end of the season. And now we are back up again. Lead now by 12 here, as Mark Carrier just caps off this game with an INT. Can't take it back though, just like Dion did in this game and in the last game, but we get out of here with a victory, 28-16. Not a bad win for us, way more comfortable than the last game, but they did give us a little bit of a scare here. But Brad Johnson, another great game, 2 touchdowns for him. Stephen Davis, 98 yards and a touchdown. Can't complain here. Even Adrian Merle getting some yards, 44 to be exact. Westbrook, 100 yards again and a touchdown. I mean, he's one of the best wide receivers in the league. Dana Stubblefield finally getting some sacks here. And I've been calling this man Mark Smith for the last, few weeks here. And his name is Derek Smith. So congratulations to Derek Smith. He got a big INT. Mark Carey got an INT. And then, of course, prime time with that pick 6, man. If you guys enjoyed this episode, give it a like. And if you enjoyed the channel, please subscribe as well here. We got a lot in the tube here. I believe I double uploaded for the last episode and this episode, so if you guys appreciate that, give it a like. And our next episode should be the last 4 games all in one episode, so we can end off on the regular season. But once again, guys, thank you guys so much for enjoying this content and liking it. You guys have been a really great motivation amidst this hiatus, but I'm back. I want to keep these videos churning, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.